study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best
of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam, you came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every year after follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
Love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every year after. Streaming June 10th, only on Prime.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I felt like that this episode is going to be more directed for the Need for Speed fans, because here's the thing. I understand why you guys would be upset. You know, I would be upset too if I was a Need for Speed fan and we hadn't seen a game since, 2022? And all these other racing games done came out since then. You got, because the Crew Motorfest, I think that came out in 2023. What are some other racing games that came out over the, I guess since Need for Speed Unbound? But yeah, a lot of different racing games then came out. And then the latest, Forza Horizon 6. Yeah, I'm like, anybody would be mad if you're, a Need for Speed fan. It's like all you just want is a game that brings you back to the Underground 2 and Most Wanted days. When have we seen that with Need for Speed? All right, so lately, because I feel like I need to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So the other day, Forza Horizon 6 releases. I've been playing this game day and night. Like, I have to say, I have not been this invested into Forza since Forza Motorsports 3 and 4. Like, I will play Forza, like all the other different Forzas that have came out, because I have all of them. I have all of the Forza Horizons, I have all the Forza Motorsports, but 3 and 4 were the two games that really had me hooked. Those were the two, those are my two go-to games up until I started getting into other video games and stuff. So, but anyways, Need for Speed on the other hand, Need for Speed is a series where I will say that I knew more of that series than Forza. I didn't really know too much about Forza because, for one, I was on PlayStation 2 for a good majority of my childhood. It wasn't until, I was in high school, that's when I had got me a Xbox. And so, I didn't really know about Forza until it was a friend of mine's. He got me into it. He was telling me about it, let me borrow Forza Motorsports 3. And it was funny because I didn't like Forza at first. No, I remember telling him that. I'm like, fam, they done gave me some slow cars, because I was so used to arcade racing games where they got your cars doing 200 miles per hour straight out the garage. So when he had me test out Forza Motorsports 3, I was like, fam, this game sucks. The cars are slow. No, man, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. But then I played more of it, and I think that's what it was. I think I remember I bought a Mustang, and there is a 2005 Mustang GT, because at the time that was the only one that they had. So I remember I bought it, and I was like, you know what, I can work with this game. It's, I think what I am going to do is go up to GameStops with 20 video games, trade all those games in, just so I could get Forza Motorsports. Yeah, it was, I'm telling you, GameStops, that's a place that ruined my video game, collection and stuff. Y'all did trading in 20 games to just get $30 cash and 35 in-store credit. I'm telling you, man, GameStops, that's why they're in the position that they're in, all right? So, but anyways, no, overall, though, I got more into Forza. And then, because there wasn't really no Need for Speed games that was capturing my mind. I did play a lot of different Need for Speed games. I remember playing Rivals. I played Most Wanted, that new Most Wanted, or the last Most Wanted that they came out with. And then I remember over at, because my uncle, he was really into video games at the time. And I remember, I think, yeah, he had me play Underground 2. And so that was the first time I believe I had ever played Need for Speed. And I, for the longest, was trying to figure out which Need for Speed that was. And I never knew which one it was up until shopping at this retro game store. And then seeing that they had some Need for Speed copies up there. So, yeah, I was like, I'd seen that they had Underground 1 and 2, played both of them. And I'm thinking to myself, because I had already played Heat and Most Wanted, or not Most Wanted, but Unbound. And so when playing the older Need for Speed games, I'm thinking to myself, how is it that you guys went from these Need for Speed games, Most Wanted and Underground 2? Because I would say that those would probably be the best Need for Speed games in the whole series, all right? That first Most Wanted and Underground 2. How is it that you guys went from those games to what you guys got out now, where the only thing that came out of Need for Speed Unbound was that A$AP Rocky was behind it? That was it. Oh, and then they have licensed clothes. They got Adidas and stuff like that. My thing is this, though. If you're going to make a street racing game, the game has to be about street racing. When I played Need for Speed Unbound, the amount of times I got chased by the cops, I almost wanted to make my character white just to see if there would be some sort of change. But that was the thing, though. I've seen so many different people play this game, and that's the one thing that they all have to deal with are the cop chases. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bruh, how is a person supposed to get through the story of this game and they constantly being chased by the cops? I'm like, nah, bro. That it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, now I'm annoyed. Because I'm like, you have it where you drive that close to the checkpoint of doing the mission or doing, the level for the racing things just to get chased by a cop. And now I got to drive around the city, come back, same thing, all over again. Why did you think somebody would want to deal with that? That's why I'm like, if they come out with another Need for Speed game, I'm like, you guys are going to really have to outdo everything that you've done before in the past. Not outdo Heat and Unbound. No, I'm saying you guys are going to have to outdo Underground 2, Most Wanted. You're going to have to outdo the whole franchise. You're going to have to come out with the best possible street racing game where it's like, okay, we're done with Forza. We got to play this Need for Speed game. But that's the thing. There are people in the gaming industry where their passion for video game development gone. So that's why I'm like, the next Need for Speed game that comes out, I personally don't have no hope for it. I know it ain't going to be a good game, all right? Yeah, it might be good for a couple of days, and then after that, we're probably going to be right back to Forza Horizon 6. If not, playing another street racing game, But yeah, when you look at a lot of different racing games that came out, I have to say probably the one biggest game that I can think of that I can say that can be compared to Need for Speed is the Crew Motorfest. So when playing that game, they had like a police mission in there where did they have it where we were getting chased? I think they did have it set up where we were like the cops and stuff and we were chasing down cars. But that's the thing with the Crew Motorfest, the amount of content that game has. Like, that's one thing that I will say about Ubisoft is that they somewhat got the Crew Motorfest down right. Now, I ain't gonna say that that's the best racing game that I played my whole entire life, but I will say that the Crew Motorfest in the recent years, if it was a toss-up between Need for Speed Unbound and the Crew Motorfest, I gotta play one of those two games for the rest of my life. I'm playing the Crew Motorfest 100%. That there's no arguments about that. Need for Speed Unbound is unplayable, and I'm like, I don't want to sit around and try to figure out how to play an unplayable game. That's not me. Not in this day and age of me being, almost 30 years old, and my temper is very limited. Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. So, anyways, but no, overall though, Forza Horizon 6 came out. Everybody's been playing it. Everybody's been loving it. Besides one little community in the racing genre community or the racing community and stuff. And yeah, that's the Need for Speed community. There have been some other communities like BeamNG. What are some other games that's been compared to Forza Horizon 6 or people have been trying to say that it's better and stuff? But I feel like those are the two that I've seen the most. And I probably will talk on BeamNG and Forza Horizon 6 in a separate episode. But no, for this episode, yeah, let's just keep it about Need for Speed, all right? So anyways, people from the Need for Speed community has not been liking Forza Horizon 6 because the customization is limited. What else have people been? That's like the main thing that people have been saying is the customization. And I was saying that to one guy because I talked about it on TikTok. I posted the TikTok videos on YouTube. And yeah, that was the last comment that I got talking about it. Forza Horizon 6 was and Need for Speed was that the Forza Horizon 6 doesn't have a big customization option, and it doesn't. I will keep it a buck with you guys. Like, there have been times where I've went to go and do upgrades to my car, and yeah, there isn't really a whole lot of like adding bumpers or but that's the thing too, where I'm like, I think they want to just kind of keep it like the car having its natural look rather than making it look like a Mad Max car, or like there are some cars out there where you can do a bunch of different upgrades to it, but there are some other cars where I guess I'm assuming that the people, Playground Games, they're probably like, it's not gonna look right. Now, whatever, I guess, creative ideas that you have, then overall though, and that's the thing too, where it's like you're comparing a video game, Need for Speed Unbound, and I think that's why it has like more customizations, because it has less cars. Because Need for Speed, how many cars are in Need for Speed Unbound? Over 150 cars. You're comparing a video game that has over 150 cars to a video game that has over 550 cars. Let's just see how many Forza Horizon 6 has. 638 cars. So they definitely done added more cars to the game since, because I thought it was just only 550. There were some more cars that got added and stuff. So they got what? Like it's more than, would it be tripled or quadrupled? They got more cars than Need for Speed Unbound. Do you really expect them, all right, to have all of these customization options to 600 plus cars? You really have to sit down and think about that. There is over 600 cars in this game, and you're expecting the developers, we got to have this deep in-depth customization for all the cars. Fam, if you're trying to customize a car, go play Automation. All right, but if you're on console, the thing is this. A console player that's looking for a game that they can have fun with. Let's just sit down and put this in perspective. A kid that's in school and a grown adult that's working a job. Let's start off with the kid in school, right? Long day at school. Most likely, I know for me, school started at like 7, 8 in the morning and stuff, right? So anyways, you most likely gonna have to wake up an hour, couple hours or two, before, hour or two before school starts to get ready and all that stuff. So you're tired, all right? Tired, out of your mind. You don't even know where you're at. You walk in, kids is yelling, kids is going crazy. It's like, fam, this is way too much activity going on before first period. And then let's say, like, because at least for me, I know there were some mornings where I had to get me a Red Bull. Let's say you don't have a Red Bull. You just gotta go into this classroom with natural energy. Impossible in this day and age. All right. So anyways, you get through first period. You get through second period. You took a nap in third period, because I know at times I was having to take me a nap at some point in times throughout school. But you get through the whole day, right? Got all this homework, did all this testing, sent your brain to the limits when it came down to school. You go home, all right? You have a video game console in front of you. A bunch of different video games that you can be playing. What do you want to play? Do you want to play a game where you're constantly be going back and forth from the internet, wasting time, but back and forth from the internet to the game, trying to figure out how to play the game, or to figure out how to get through the police chases? Or play a game where it doesn't even have all of that. And it was funny because somebody had brought that up. So it was another person that brought it up, how Need for Speed has police. They shouldn't have police. The police are racist to everybody. I ain't never seen where it be a whole police force that's racist to everybody. But my thing is this. If I'm trying to race, let's just say the Need for Speed movie, it comes out, right? And I wonder how long will it take to beat Need for Speed. How long will it take to beat Need for Speed? Yeah, Need for Speed Unbound. They say approximately 23 hours. So imagine sitting in a theater, right, for 23 hours just watch. No. Not even that. you're sitting in the theater for more than 23 hours watching just the main character getting chased by the cops. Not progressing through the story, none of that stuff. Like, you don't know what you have to keep constantly buying Need for Speed games in order to get an idea. Yeah, you ain't gonna be doing all of that at the movies. You ain't gonna be like, oh, I gotta buy a movie ticket for this day and that day and that. No, you ain't gonna be doing all of that. You want to play a game where you can genuinely have fun with it. You can progress through the story, and that's all that I've been doing in Forza Horizon 6, and I feel like there's still a lot more that I need to do, but I have made it to, I think I just need to unlock the last wristband, and then yeah, at that point I'm I wouldn't say I'm like beating the game. Like, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's still like other things I have to do in that game, but even after that, there's still more to do in the game for multiplayer. And then there's like there's the expansion DLCs, because how they had it set up, if you were an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, was that you get the base game at like for free pretty much. Now you don't get to like keep it for free, but through the subscription service you get to play it for free. So let me correct myself. So you pretty much get to play the game for free. You don't have to buy it or buy no special editions. I guess like if let's say you unsubscribe from Xbox Game Pass at some point in time, and then but you still want to play Forza Horizon 6. So yeah, how they had it set up was that because if you're subscribed to Xbox Game Pass, all you just have to do is buy the premium, which is $60, and it ain't the full $120 that you would have to buy. And then yeah, overall though, you're playing you have to wait, I guess, when the expansions do come out and stuff. But I mean, all the different things that they give you, they gave me a house voucher so I could get me a house for free. I think it was just like a random house, like, but it was like a house where it's like has like a daily wheel spin system. So they gave me a house for free. They gave me a car voucher for free. All the DLCs that's in the future, for when the game, like when the DLCs do release and stuff. Clothing vouchers. What else did they give me in the game? Oh yeah, a gang of cars. Like, yeah, they give you a lot of different things. I didn't get all that when I played Need for Speed. I don't even think, what does the special edition even have? Hold on for a second. Let's just look that up real quick, because I didn't see Need for Speed when I had opened up Steam. And so yeah, let's see what all of the, so they have, so the ultimate upgrade. So there's like the base game. What does this even mean? Like a Palace Edition upgrade versions also available. What do you, okay, Ultimate. All right, so there's like Audi, so you get some cars, of course, I would imagine. Some custom paint jobs, access to all post-launch premium content, including 9 fully customizable cars, over 45 customs, and hundreds of additional customization. So that's it. That's all that game had, just customization options. Because I don't remember them talking about no like DLCs, like story expansions and all that stuff. So that's why I'm like, fam, like what's that's all that you guys got. It's just a bunch of different customization options. I understand now why you guys were upset that Forza Horizon 6 is better than Need for Speed Unbound, Heat, and every other Need for Speed game that then came out over the past few years. Yeah, them older Need for Speed games like Underground 2 and Most Wanted, those will probably be the one games where I'm like, those are untouchable. Those are classic video games. There ain't no new video game in this world that can compare to those nostalgic great games and stuff. So, but anyways, if we're talking on Unbound, like just strictly talking on Unbound, there is nothing that you can compare Unbound to when it comes down to comparing it to Forza Horizon 6. No comparison at all. That's not even a fair comparison. Yeah, maybe if it's an indie game, indie racing, open world racing game like Car X Street or something, then yes, then maybe we can compare Need for Speed to a video game. But if we're comparing it to a video game that has had the open world racing genre on lock, yeah, no, that's not a fair comparison. You know, as much as you want to try to convince yourself that Need for Speed Unbound is better, because of the customization, the police chases, all that, it's not. All right, I'm sorry to break that news to you, but it's not. And a lot of people argue especially because I had looked this up earlier, just being curious and stuff. But hold on for a second. Need for Speed Unbound Steam player count. This is just going based off of Steam. This ain't going based off of no other platforms. it done went down half the number. So they all-time peak 14,000 3.4 years ago. Then the 24-hour peak 1,003. Right now they got 398 players in the game versus Forza Horizon 6 302,000 players. That was their all-time peak 2 days ago. 283,000 players in a 24-hour peak, and 140,000 players currently playing the game right now. This is just talking on Steam. This ain't talking on Xbox. And when it does, because I think it is going to still come out on PlayStation. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, so it is going to be coming out on PlayStation later on this year. Like, the game is that good to where I'm like, I am considering buying it on PlayStation because it is that good of a game. Like, it ain't too many times where I'm like, oh, I'll buy a game twice. But I'm like, yeah, when the game is good enough, and that's Forza Horizon 6. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's definitely worth it. I'll tell you that much. For somebody that has played a lot of Need for Speed, and you're wondering, like, is Forza Horizon 6 worth it? Yes, it is. Despite what them diehard Need for Speed fans are saying, Forza Horizon 6 is definitely a much more better game. So, but anyways, with that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.